Arman Tsarukyan is finally speaking out about the Nina drama situation, and it looks like there might be more going on between the two. What started as a simple content link-up quickly turned into rumors, injury conspiracies, and questions about their relationship. Arman is addressing it, and what he's saying is raising eyebrows. In January 2026, Arman Tsarukyan appeared in back-to-back U.S. live streams, including one with UFC personality Nina Drama, instantly putting him in the spotlight. At the time, Tsarukyan had just competed at RAF 05, where he made his freestyle wrestling debut against four-time NCAA Division I All-American Lance Palmer and won the bout via technical fall 10-0 in the first period. He was riding high. He'd stayed in America after the event, and his PR team was executing a plan. Since his RAF 05 matchup, Tsarukyan had stayed in America while his PR team worked strategically to make him a fan favorite. That strategy included streaming with the biggest names on the internet. He went live within 3 on. He appeared on MMA Guru's stream. But the session that changed everything, the one that made the entire MMA community stop and pay attention, was the one with Nina Drama. His latest kick stream with Danielle broke the internet. It wasn't a standard fight week interview. It wasn't a 10-minute clip. The two had streams together lasting over 8 hours each. And fans immediately started mocking them. 8 hours? That's not content creation. That's a date. And the MMA world treated it exactly like one. Nina Drama, a 50K follower streamer at the time, went viral with Arman Tsarukyan during the historic kick stream, setting new fan engagement records. She became the most clipped streamer on Kick that week. Nina Drama herself revealed she was the most clipped streamer on Kick that week. As a part-time streamer with 50,000 followers, outperformed every full-time content creator on the platform. All because the chemistry between her and Tsarukyan was undeniable. Her content with Arman Tsarukyan drew backlash. Some fans criticized her past as a Playboy model and accused her of seeking infamy. The MMA community does what the MMA community does. It gossiped. MMA fans tend to gossip like the meanest girls in high school. And rumors about the pair have been common. Were they together? Were they just friends? Was it all for content? Every comment section, every quote tweet, every Reddit thread had the same question. And then Giorgio Pulla said it out loud on a live stage. Responding to Tsarukyan's reminder about an unpaid bet from RAF 06, Pulla replied, "You give me a date with your girlfriend Nina Drama, and I'll give you the 10K. That single sentence at the RAF 07 press conference turned what had been internet gossip into a full-blown public confrontation. Tsarukyan's reaction told the world everything it needed to know about how serious this situation was to him. Guys, you never ask about family. Tsarukyan responded once he realized what was said. Don't ask about family. Moms, sisters, and girls too. If someone's going to talk about that, you're going to be dead. He didn't laugh it off. He didn't roll his eyes and move to the next question. He went straight to threats. I don't care if this is RAF or UFC belt. If you're going to touch my family, you're going to be dead. And you too. Shut your mouth and be respectful for the girls. Okay, the word family is not a word you use about a business partner. The word family is not a word you use about someone who interviews you for content. Tsarukyan used it 3 times in under 30 seconds. The internet noticed. To understand why Tsarukyan and Nina Drama's relationship became such a lightning rod, you have to go back to the event that put them both in the crosshairs. UFC 311. UFC lightweight star Arman Tsarukyan found himself in the spotlight for unfortunate reasons. He was forced to withdraw from the UFC 311 main event against Islam Makhachev in what was the fight of his life. This was the moment Tsarukyan had been building toward for years. He was the #1 contender. He had earned this shot through blood and dominance, a 5-fight winning streak that included notable wins over Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush, plus a submission of Dan Hooker. Every fight fan on the planet wanted to see Tsarukyan versus Makhachev. And then 24 hours before the opening bell, it all fell apart. A back injury occurred, which many speculated stemmed from an intense exercise session with MMA media personality Nina Drama during a media obligation. During the session, Tsarukyan demonstrated some intense wrestling and stretching drills, which appear to strain his back and neck. The footage spread across every MMA forum and social media platform within hours. Before UFC 311, Nina Drama shared a post where she was with Arman Tsarukyan, who exchanges MMA knowledge with a UFC content creator. In one moment of the video, Tsarukyan was seen teaching Nina Drama the neck bridge roll warm-up. That one clip, a few seconds of Tsarukyan rolling on his head during what was supposed to be a light-hearted training segment, became the most analyzed piece of MMA footage since Conor McGregor's cage jump. After news broke that Tsarukyan suffered an injury ahead of UFC 311, some fans scrutinized a snippet from her video and mistakenly suggested it was the cause of his injury. The backlash was savage and immediate. Fans didn't just blame Tsarukyan for being reckless. They blamed Nina Drama for being there in the first place, for being a distraction, for being a so-called curse. Nina Drama had claimed that some fans had sent her death threats since they thought she was responsible for Tsarukyan pulling out. Death threats over a warm-up exercise. Nina herself wrote on X, "I had a couple death threats from MMA fans after the news broke out that Arman Tsarukyan was injured." Meanwhile, Renato Moicano, who replaced Arman Tsarukyan, failed to put up a competitive fight and got tapped very early. With the win, Islam Makhachev became the greatest lightweight fighter of all time with 5 title wins. Tsarukyan watched from the sidelines as his dream disappeared, and the fallout was devastating. Since he was forced to pull out because of a back injury, Dana White had made it clear that Tsarukyan will not be getting a title shot next. He's not getting a title shot. That means he's going to have to fight his way. Back to the title. The UFC head honcho told reporters after UFC 311, "In one agonizing weekend, Tsarukyan lost his title shot, his momentum, and his reputation as a reliable headliner. And in the eyes of thousands of MMA fans, Nina Drama was the reason why." The UFC 311 debacle didn't just produce anger. It produced a full-blown superstition. The debate about the Nina curse has been ongoing in the UFC. Ever since Nina Marie Danielle started interviewing fighters before their big fights, the theory was simple. Any fighter who spent significant time with Nina Drama before a fight was destined to lose. Belal Muhammad was reportedly so terrified of the curse that he refused to train with her. Fighters like Shera Magomedov, Kai Asakura, and even Alex Pereira have allegedly fallen victim to the so-called Nina curse. Whether coincidence or cosmic joke, the pattern was enough for the internet to construct an entire mythology around one woman's presence at Fight Week events. And Nina Drama wasn't just any woman. Born Nina Marie Danielle on December 27, 1988 in Los Angeles, California, this media personality had transformed from a Playboy playmate into a powerhouse content creator, amassing millions of followers across platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Her background made her target. She was the 2018 Playboy Playmate of the Year. She came from a modeling world, and she'd pivoted strategically and aggressively into MMA media. Danielle's pivot to MMA was no accident. She left her comedy roots in California, packed her bags, and moved to Las Vegas to chase a job that didn't exist, to humanize fighters through lighthearted, banter-filled interviews. Her approach was radically different from traditional MMA journalism. She herself said, "I'm not a real journalist or reporter. I'm just a girl who interviews fighters and is trying to show a human side of fighters through comedy and satire." That honesty earned her powerful allies. Dana White, known for shunning traditional media in favor of influencers, saw gold in Danielle's Gen Z appeal. White even defended her when some fans called for her removal. And John Jones called her the best UFC personality. But it also earned her vicious enemies. As her presence grew within the UFC's content ecosystem, so did the rumors, particularly from critics accusing her of being an industry plant. Detractors argued that her sudden rise and exclusive access to fighters suggested insider favoritism or UFC-engineered promotion. The tension between traditional MMA media and influencer-style coverage had been building for years, and Nina became the embodiment of that conflict. The feud became symbolic of a larger shift in combat sports journalism between polished traditional coverage and the meme-friendly personality-driven content creators, reshaping the space. But the Nina curse narrative did something else. It linked her name permanently to Arman Tsarukyan. Every time the curse was mentioned, their names were mentioned together. Every time someone debated whether the curse was real, they were debating the nature of Arman and Nina's relationship. The superstition was really just gossip wearing a different mask. The fans might believe it's real, but Arman Tsarukyan doesn't care about it. On the Overdogs podcast, when the host asked if he believed in the Nina curse, the lightweight division's #1 contender replied, "No way." No. Mike Perry then chimed in, adding that Moradvebs and Felipe also don't care about the absurd Nina curse. When asked about it, Nina Marie Danielle denied the curse outright. There is no Nina drama curse, and if you lose, it's your fault. Neither of them was running from the association, and that told its own story. Fast forward to March 2026. Tsarukyan had picked himself up from the UFC 311 wreckage. He competed in multiple Real American freestyle events to keep sharp and stay in the public eye. Tsarukyan faced Giorgio Pulla at RAF 06 on February 28, 2026, and won the match by points 5-3. That match ended in a brawl following Tsarukyan's win over Giorgio Pulla at RAF 06. A post-match altercation between the two escalated into a brawl involving members of both teams. Footage of the incident showed Tsarukyan striking Pulla after the match before additional individuals entered, and the situation developed into a wider confrontation. So when the rematch at RAF 07 was announced, the bad blood was already at a boiling point. The tension between Arman Tsarukyan and Giorgio Pulla wasn't just for show. Their rematch at RAF 07 was the result of a rivalry that had only grown since their first encounter. And then came the press conference on March 27, 2026. The majority of their exchanges resulted in humorous comments from the UFC lightweight contender. He repeatedly asked for Pulla to pay him the $10,000 from the bet they made before their first match, with the American responding, "You give me a date with your girlfriend, Nina Drama, and I'll give you the $10K. Pulla didn't just throw a jab. He threw a grenade by calling Nina Drama Tsarukyan's girlfriend in front of cameras, microphones, and a live audience. He forced the issue into the open in a way that no Reddit thread or Twitter comment ever could. This was face-to-face. This was public. And Tsarukyan's response was volcanic. "Guys, you never ask about family. Don't ask about family. Moms, sisters, and girls too. If someone's going to talk about that, you're going to be dead." The press conference staff moved quickly to defuse the situation, but the damage, or rather the revelation, was already done. Tsarukyan had lumped Nina in with family. He had threatened physical violence over someone mentioning her name disrespectfully. He hadn't corrected Pulla's use of the word girlfriend. He had only objected to the disrespect. Pulla didn't just hear it from Tsarukyan, though. After the press conference wrapped up, Nina Drama herself addressed the issue directly with him. And this is where it got even more revealing. The exchange was captured live on her Kickstream. What was that? It was a chess promo, respectfully. It was disrespectful. The part where you mentioned me up there, it was disrespectful. She said, "You were nice in the lobby, and I took a picture." She continued, "I was trying to be really respectful, but I didn't like that shit. I didn't like it." Pulla did apologize during their conversation in person and later took to social media to clarify his intentions publicly. Nina didn't go to Pulla as a bystander. She went as someone directly affected, someone with standing to confront. That's not the behavior of a coworker. That's not the behavior of an interviewer defending her professional reputation. That's the behavior of someone who has a personal stake in the matter. Both of their reactions in tandem painted an unmistakable picture, and the internet erupted. An MMA outlet on X posted, "Developing. Arman Tsarukyan and Nina Drama finally admit that they are a couple while Nina's boyfriend remains on the team as cameraman." That post racked up nearly 600,000 views, though it was later noted to have been created with Grok AI, adding another layer of confusion to the narrative. After months of speculation, streams, press conference blowups, injury conspiracies, and the relentless Nina curse discourse, Arman Tsarukyan sat down and addressed the situation directly. The moment everyone had been waiting for. In an interview with Patrick Bet-David on his podcast, Tsarukyan was asked directly if he's dating Nina Drama. He responded, "Nina and me are best friends. This is just the content we do together. She has a boyfriend. Her boyfriend creates the videos, and he's always with her." That was the official line. Best friends, content partners. Her boyfriend is the cameraman. Nothing more to see here. But the internet and the evidence made that a tough sell. Her surge in popularity hasn't come without backlash, as some fans have labeled her an industry plant and taken issue with her close on-camera chemistry with former champions like Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland, with their frequent appearances together on social media. Tsarukyan and Danielle have sparked growing chatter among naysayers, with many wondering whether there's more to their dynamic than what's shown publicly. The number 2 ranked UFC lightweight contender made it clear that their chemistry is limited to social media content, while in reality, they share a close friendship built on mutual respect. "Nina and I, we're best friends," Tsarukyan said. He said it more than once. He said it on Patrick Bet-David's show. He said it in other interviews. The phrase best friends became almost a catchphrase. And yet, the way he defended her at the RAF press conference with threats of violence and invocations of family suggested something that mere friendship doesn't typically inspire. Consider the timeline. Consider the 8-hour kick streams. Consider the fact that Arman Tsarukyan and Nina Drama appeared together to help end 3 on Find Love in a speed dating IRL stream. Consider that Nina Drama is reportedly married and Tsarukyan is too. Consider that despite all of this, they have continued to appear together constantly, creating content, attending events, and defending each other publicly. For 15 years, Nina has been in a committed relationship with Janelle Castillo, a bond built on mutual creativity and unwavering support. The couple's low-key dynamic has been a quiet anchor as Danielle navigates fame. And yet, Tsarukyan's protective instincts and their constant proximity have only fueled the speculation further. When Nina addressed the backlash about her relationship with Tsarukyan, she didn't mince words. She said during a kick stream, "I don't know why people think. I don't know why people are getting this fucking information from. You're just putting all of your weird projecting, all of your weird insecurities from maybe the shit you have done in your past or relationships you had in your past, and you're just projecting it onto me. So what does this leave us?" Tsarukyan says they're best friends. Nina says fans are projecting. Her boyfriend reportedly still shoots the videos. Yet, Tsarukyan threatened to end a man's life for calling Nina his girlfriend on a live stage. He grouped her in with family, with mothers and sisters. He didn't correct the label. He corrected the disrespect. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle of what Tsarukyan says publicly and what the internet believes privately. What is undeniable is that the connection between them, whatever its precise nature, has been a defining element of Tsarukyan's career during this chapter. It has shaped his public image. It has influenced his media strategy. It has given him a foothold in the American entertainment landscape that pure fighting alone couldn't provide. Initially, Tsarukyan projected the image of a rich, spoiled kid, but his recent streams with N3 on MMA Guru and Nina Marie Danielle have highlighted his personality and gradually won over American fans. As a result, the lightweight UFC star has revealed a side of himself that many underestimated. Even Sean Ali took notice. Impressed by Arman Tsarukyan's PR efforts, Ali said, "I want to watch Arman fight. His style's always been super skilled, but never was like, I gotta see Arman fight. After this little media thing, I want to see Arman Tsarukyan fight." That's the power of what Tsarukyan and Nina Drama have built together. Intentionally or not, a fighter who was once overlooked by casual fans is now one of the most talked about names in the sport. And whether they're best friends, business partners, or something more, the result is the same. Arman Tsarukyan is no longer just a contender. He's a main character. The number 1 contender is now planning to fight Ilia Topuria. Topuria has received numerous fight requests since winning the vacant lightweight title, one of which came from Arman Tsarukyan. He's offered to put $500,000 on the line. He's competing in RAF events to stay sharp. He's doing everything in his power to claw back what he lost at UFC 311. And through all of it, Nina drama remains in his orbit. Whether the truth is that they're together or that they're simply two people with an extraordinary bond that the internet refuses to accept at face value, Arman Tsarukyan has revealed exactly as much as he wants the world to know and not a word more.